everybody. This is Mark Carey from Steepleview Farm. Welcome to this little video. I'm recording this today on Palm Sunday. We do a live show on Saturday mornings at our website, www.steepleviewfarm.com. We're also streaming live to Facebook and soon to our YouTube channel, which you're probably going to find this video uploaded today. I wanted to talk with you just briefly because I wanted to pop in here and say something. I've been following a number of Facebook pages and groups, including the group run by Michael Kilpatrick, talking about successful farm businesses. And I've seen some comments that reflect exactly what we've been experiencing for the last week. We run a program a little bit different than a CSA. We have farm partners. And our farm partners join the farm for the year, and they get unlimited amounts, whatever they want in the way of produce, when it's in season, when we can harvest it, whatever we've got. Our farm partners get the first of the crop. Along with them, we feed the hungry, we harvest crops and take them into the food pantry system. And then, of course, we sell to the general public. We've always raised just about enough produce early in the season to take care of what I call the early birds in our farm partners. Those are the ones who come for the early spring greens and things of that sort. Well, the reason that I'm doing this video is because we have just been inundated with requests. We've just been swamped with phone calls. Our farm partners are taking full advantage of their partnerships, which we love. Had I known it was going to be this robust, I would have planted everything on the farm but the blacktop. But as it stands, we have enough to satisfy our partners for the time being, and we've been furiously planting more because we can see that in this coronavirus environment, there's an increased demand. Now, I'm not sure that everybody out there in the farming community, whether you're a market gardener, you're just doing farmers markets, doing CSAs, whatever, has really picked up on this yet. But, you know, people are not traveling to the store. They don't like being around crowds. Many of the stores are closed, limited hours. People are trapped in their homes. And I think people have gotten a new sense of the importance of buying and making things locally. We've heard all these horror stories about outsourcing our medicines and manufacturing and everything else to foreign countries. And people are all of a sudden saying, wait a minute, there's an advantage to buying locally. First of all, I don't have to go stand in line. I can go right to a farm. Secondly, but maybe more importantly, I can know the farmer. I can know the source of my food. I can know what kind of quality controls they have in place. I can learn these things. I can be reconnected with my food and find a healthier environment for my family. And as we all know from the coronavirus statistics, personal health is a huge factor in determining who survives and who doesn't. Elderly people obviously are at higher risk, but most of the people who are dying from this virus have underlying health issues. Many of those health issues are under our control. Obesity, heart disease, diabetes, things like that, controlled by diet. People are now starting to learn a little bit more from what's going on around them, how important it is that they take more control of their lives. So I want to say this to you because I know that for most people, it's a little bit difficult to hear somebody say something positive in the midst of a crisis. But I think there's something really positive for you and me as farmers. I think we have a golden opportunity to preach our message to our neighbors and to our communities as it relates to the importance of buying local, the convenience of buying local, the advantages of knowing your farmer, knowing the source of your food. All of that, every bit of that is now becoming more important to people. We always had a market of people that were interested in that. Now it's expanding. And in a buy local market, we don't have to compete with the big box stores. We don't have to compete with the grocery stores. We don't have to compete with the big food conglomerates. Buying local means you can serve the people in your immediate community. Great opportunity here. This morning, I was not in church, but I was watching online as my pastor, Tim Schelling from Northern Kentucky Baptist Church, was talking about the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29. And in reference to that chapter, the elders from Jerusalem had been taken captive and hauled off to Babylon. And there they were being held for what was going to be 70 years. 70 years of captivity. Now, that doesn't compare to the time that we've spent so far self-quarantining in our homes, sheltering in place, living without all the normal conveniences. And he drew some parallels. If you'll bear with me for about 2.5 minutes, I want to play a part of his sermon today, and then I'm going to come back when that is over, and I want to tell you a little bit about how I see that applying to you and me as market gardeners and farmers and people who understand the importance of our taking control of our own health and taking control of our own lives. Listen to what Pastor Tim Schelling from Northern Kentucky Baptist Church had to say just this morning.
Secondly, I want you to notice the direction that is explained by God. The direction explained by God. God says to them, I have some directions for you. In their difficulty and in the place where they are, verse number 5, he says, build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. In other words, what God was saying to them, several things he was telling them, but first of all, he was telling them, settle right where you are. Settle where you are. Now, I'm 69 years of age. In 70 years, the Lord told them they were going to be there for 70 years. In 70 years, I'm going to be 139 years old. I'm not going home if I'm there in their day. Now, I'm sure we're not going to have to deal with this coronavirus for 70 years. At least I'm pretty sure that we aren't going to have to. But look at verse number 10. God said to them, for thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you in causing you to return to this place. What God was saying to them, and I think it's the same thing he's saying to us today. He is saying to us, just settle down. Just be still and know that I am God. God's still on the throne, amen? He knows exactly what he's doing, and we may be going through some difficulties and hardships, but God says, just hold on, just settle down. I know what I'm doing. So he said, settle right where you are. Secondly, he said, succeed right where you are. Succeed where you are. Look at verses 5 and 6 again. Verse 5, he said, build you houses, dwell in them, plant gardens, eat the fruit of them. Verse 6, take ye wives and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished. God said to them, succeed where you are. Right where you are, I'm with you, succeed. He was saying to Israel, plant your gardens. Go ahead and get married and let your children get married when they're ready and let them have children. And he said, I want you to increase in the land of your captivity. Seek the peace of your city where you are. Look at verse number 7. Again, he says, and seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captive. And pray unto the Lord for it. Pray for the city. Pray, he says, for in the peace thereof shall ye have peace.
Now, listen to that message again. These folks were being held captive. And God said to them, settle where you are and succeed where you are. That's a message for our time. Where are we? We're at home. We're on our farms. We're looking at the world around us and feeling as if suddenly we're in a strange land. But we have a tremendous opportunity to succeed where we are. If you're a faithful person, and I most certainly am, you understand God brought us to this place. He brought us to this place for his purposes, but he left us messages in the past that we can read to tell us how to deal with the circumstances we find for ourselves. Settle where you are, succeed where you are. We're on a farm. Let's settle down. Let's be quiet. Let's make the most of the circumstances we're in. And let's find a way to succeed. Whether you understand this now or not, these are the times where people become millionaires in times of crisis. And whether that's your goal or not, whether your goal is to make a lot of money, or your goal is to teach people to connect with the earth, or your goal is to feed the hungry, or your goal is to see to it that you're providing the best, most wholesome produce to people as possible, and you just want to enjoy the richness of living on a farm, Succeeding where you are, settling where you are, is the message for what you do when you feel trapped, when you feel captive. This is an opportunity for us. My phone is ringing off the hook. I see from the Facebook groups, so many others have said our business is up tenfold or more. Whether that is your goal, to succeed financially, or just to introduce more people to what you do, introduce more people to who you are, what you've got to offer, serve a need that's growing in the community to buy local and to take more control of our health. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that if we are aware of the fact that we are here, and these are the circumstances God has put us in, if we just be still, if we just be quiet, if we just settle down and look around, the opportunity to fulfill a great need among our fellow citizens will no doubt occur to us pretty quickly. And I hope that a little of what I've said to you today will encourage you to realize how important you are. Plant your gardens, harvest your crop, and succeed where you are. I'm Mark Carey at Steeple View Farm. I hope you'll come back and visit us. Hope you'll come to our live videos. And I most certainly hope that you will take the opportunity that God presents you every day and make the most of it. God bless.